Point to scare in the skies after Vistara's Delhi-London flight was diverted to Frankfurt. Following a bomb threat, around 30 different flights have received bomb threats in the last 24 hours. 100 threats have been received so far in a week. Take a look at this report.
Nearly 100 bomb threat calls in 5 days. And 5 days on, no leads on who is behind these hoax calls. On October 19th, 30 flights received bomb threats. This in just one day. 5 flights, each from Indigo and Akasa, got bomb threats in the last 24 hours. Central agencies are set to approach VPN service providers in an effort to trace the origin of these hoax calls. Sources in Aviation Ministry reveal that many of these threatening calls have utilized VPN, which is further making the tracking process complicated. The Civil Aviation Minister, however, ruled out any wide conspiracy, asserting that hoax calls are made by minors and pranksters.
No, I think these are all just rumors that are floating around. We can't comment on that. But whatever we know right now, there are all individual people, most of them minors, who don't understand the whole idea of what they are doing. And they are creating this kind of inconvenience. But from our side, we are going to see what best we can do.
Centre is considering a number of steps, including bringing new legislation for hoax callers and putting the hoax callers on a no-fly list. Alarmingly, 3 international flights were among those targeted. Air India's Mumbai to London flight, Indigo's Istanbul to Mumbai flight, and Vistara's Frankfurt to Mumbai flight. Amid this, the Aviation Ministry is also studying the best model available globally to tackle the recent hoax pattern. Bureau Report, India Today.
50 hoax calls and counting. The Indian aviation industry in a complete state of disarray, given the number of hoax calls that are in fact holding back and diverting flights, causing a huge financial loss to the aviation sector, to airlines, and perturbing the government, and of course causing a great deal of inconvenience to passengers and also leading to a lot of chaos. Joining us right now is Vandana Singh, aviation expert. Thank you so much for your time. This is a very challenging period for the Indian government and the aviation sector, given this new headache of hoax calls. The government says right now they don't suspect any conspiracy here. It seems to be some pranksters. What, in your opinion, what do you think is going on here, Vandana Singh?
Thank you for having me on this show. First of all, I think it's a very serious matter. It's no longer a case of hoax call or crank calls, because it's going on for a while now. And as we speak today, there were 30 hoax calls. So the question is, what the hell is going on? I believe our intelligence agencies are strong. They're amongst the top-notch in the world. And forget the image of the aviation industry here. What about the image of our country? I would talk about the image of our country. And I think that the need of the hour is a task force, which should already be sitting like a war task room, a war room. If it was the US, for example, the FBI would be involved already. So it's not a matter of, getting after every passenger because it is the festive season, literally screening each and every person's profile, opening the forget the hand luggage, the check-in luggage, doing a security check on the ground personnel, the security personnel, the engineering staff, the aviation, the crew, the pilots, etc. It is the need right now for a multi-modal, multi-pronged approach by the intelligence agency, by the telecom agency, by the aviation industry is quite now, because this is a threat to our safety, security, a threat to our country's image, and above all, threat to human lives. So it cannot be taken as a joke. I believe there was a note lying in one of the washroom, in one of the lavatories as well. So where does the buck stop? Can we say every day that it was a 9-year-old kid or it was a juvenile who did it and it was a prank call? No. Can we say it is an inside job or outside job? It is for the intelligence agencies and all the stakeholders involved to come to a swift conclusion over here and catch the culprits behind. I think that is the need of the hour, not devising a new policy or an SOP and stuff like that.
You know, Vandana Singh, I just want to just put this fact in front of our viewers, this data. 30 million first-time flyers in the year 2023 in India. Of course, there are newer routes, personal income levels have increased, new airports, and all of this is giving a big boost to the aviation sector. So this problem isn't going to die down anytime soon. We can't really brush it under the carpet, and there has to be a long-term strategy. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. The long-term strategy has to be in place. And the long-term strategy has to contain the entire protocol that has to be followed. Because the airports now, we have about 150 odd functional airports, 200 plus which are ready and have to be made functional. We have the Noida International Airport that's coming up. We have more flights that are coming in. So you're right, there has been commission and that has to be done very quickly. And right now we need the intelligence agencies to really find the culprits over here because this cannot continue.
You know, Vandana Singh, I also want to ask you, globally, what is done? Developed nations, when they receive a threat of this kind, how is it that they move forward? How is that disturbances and disruptions should be kept at the minimal?
Well, immediately the ATC is informed. The ATC is taking action. It has its own SOP. It has its own protocol guide that it's following. The agencies are getting involved. If there has to be evacuation, if there has to be a fire drill involved, if an alternative airport has to be found, the code that has to be pressed by the pilot, all of that is done when it's hoax, when it's hijack, whatever, all that is in place. But the question is that this is going on now for days.
All right. Vandana Singh, I'm going to thank you for joining in with your perspective on that very important story that we're tracking. Undoubtedly, it's a matter of grave concern, not just for the aviation industry, but also for the government of India.